Shalom, Markim. This is the brother CHAARAWTAZA once again. Going in another lesson on polite and its folly. Alright. So we're going to deal with Ahla Shadya today. Or El Shaddai as they pronounce it. Alright. And we're going to watch a clip from Polite. Because Polite says, according to his little research, that the black woman is God, and that he could prove it according to the Bible, and that the word Ahla Shadya, or that the word Shadya means breastfeeding or nipple, because it represents a woman God. Now all of this shit is bullshit when you really go in and you really understand the Hebrew and you really research the Hebrew, and I'm going to show you that. Alright, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to break it all down, so this might be a long video. But hey, you know, sometimes you want to break something down to the point to where it's clear. You got to go through, you got to watch it, man. Sometimes it take a while. So, let's just go on and watch this nigga video. Let's watch part of this debate. And I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep breaking these things down, you know, about you going into this damn debate and the shit that Polite is putting out, man. Cause this nigga don't know what he talking about, man. He don't have no foundation. He read all the white man books. Matter of fact, I want to say that. He reading all these damn white man books, reading all their theories, and they goddamn, you know, believing in their theories and this shit and that science shit, and none of that shit is science. The scriptures say science falsely called so, man. This world don't do no damn science. Alright? The white man don't know shit about our language, man. You know, all these things what we bring out, this stuff is spiritually revealed, man. Man, this shit come directly from the Most High. We might get a white man book, pick up the book, and just to prove to you what something is. But we don't need these white people books. We just get it to prove to you because you uphold white people books. All right, so you know we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna watch this video.
Look at the breastfeeding. The word Shaddai is used in the Bible for God. When they talk about calling the Lord, they call him El Shaddai. Right. Shaddai means Almighty, but that's a poor translation. Now, if you know something about Hebrew, it has ideographic and pictographic meanings. And thus the letters that make up the word interprets what composition it has by way of gender. Like, I'll give you an example. In ancient Egypt, if you had a T at the end of the word in ancient Egypt, it denoted some kind of femininity, like Ma'at, Renentet, Sishat, Mabdet, Anuket, Amunet. It was always feminine and masculine principles, and they're used in language quite often. So let's not play, and that's where they got it from in their language. But we're gonna look at the word Shaddai.
Now, first of all language comes from Hebrew. We read that in the book of Genesis when it said all men spoke the same language. That language was Hebrew. So we didn't get our language from nowhere other than the Most High. Adam was speaking Hebrew. Adama. Okay? Get that shit. We get that straight. We didn't get our language and the constructs of our language from Egypt or from no Mesopotamia. We got our language from our forefather Eber, or which was named was Hebrew, man. Okay? And he carried that language on. Well, let's keep going.
Okay? And we see the concordance number is 7706. Well, look at this. The word shed in English is breast. Why I'm going to tell you this? Let's reverse. When they call on God as El Shaddai, it is made up of a Shin, a Dalet, and a Yod. Shin pictographically means teeth. Looks like this. Dalet means knob or nipple. Yod means head.
Now, right here you just went off. The Da, or what he's calling Dad, is not a fucking nipple or a fucking knob. There was no knobs in the ancient days. Nobody had knobs. They didn't have doors. You would pull a knob. That wasn't so. Knobs is a relatively modern thing. Especially talking about a nomadic people that lived in tents. Why would the fuck would they have a doorknob on a damn tent? It wasn't a knob. Okay? It wasn't a knob. It was a tent door. What we would call a door. It was the entrance to the tent. And we'll break that down later. Clearly this dude is lying about this knob or breast. Alright? Let's keep going.
So you got a word that is made up of teeth, nipple, and head. When have you seen those three together? When breastfeeding.
Now, second point. A teeth and a breast and a hand does not go together. Women are when babies are born, they're not born with teeth. Babies are not born with teeth, and you put them on the breast, and they fucking start drinking the milk with teeth. If anybody that had kids know that you don't do that, and children are not born with teeth because they'll bite the mother, and the fucking nipples will start bleeding. Usually, when the children start to develop teeth, the mother stop breastfeeding because it hurts. So what is this man talking about when you get teeth together? Okay? You get those three things. First of all, dad or da is not representative of a breast. A breast is not drawn with a straight line and a box under it representing the nipple. Titties and breasts are not straight. They're oval in shape. They're not boxy. Okay, so this shit is totally incorrect. Alright, and then secondly, you're not gonna have teeth, breast, and hand in one group. Teeth don't go with breast. Ain't no baby gonna be sucking no milk out of no breast with teeth. The mama gonna take them off the breast, because he's gonna be biting her. Okay? Secondly, if the Hebrews, if this is another thing. If it was representative of breastfeeding, the pictorial, it would have the letter pa, or what they call pay, which actually is a fucking mouth. There's a letter that represents a mouth in the Hebrew. Okay, so the letter would be pay or pa. If they wanted to have some God, what they was dealing with, and they want to represent breastfeeding and shit like that, they would have pay or pa, which is a mouth. Okay, and we'll just, for the sake of his argument, we'll say dad is a nipple. So they have pay, which is a mouth, dad, which is as he say, a nipple, which is not. It's a tent door. And then they might have yah, which is a hand or arm. That would more correctly be what you're looking for, polite. All right, but Shadya, Shah, teeth, da, which is a tent door, as you would call it today, or entrance to a tent, and then yah, a hand, is not breastfeeding. But we're gonna keep going. We're gonna break all that down later.
The word they use for God is made up of letters that allude to a teeth on a nipple with the use of a hand. But you might be saying, polite, you just playing with the letters, yo. So I'm going to ask you, if God's name is Shaddai in the Bible, what's the word for breast? Shed. And if it's plural, Shadya. So just by coincidence, not only are the letters alluding to the fact that God is a female, because God has breasts.
Now, let's look at this word shed. All right? What he's talking about. He says right here, Shah and Da. Okay? Which, like I said, this don't look like a nipple. A nipple will have an oval shape to it. Okay? And then it might have a little, a little nipple at the bottom. This is not a knob. There was no knobs amongst the Israelites. They didn't have doors. They didn't have wood doors and they would have a knob on it. That was not so. They had tents. It's not knobs on tents. So this is not a nipple. But let's look at this word shad real quick. Let me show you something about this word. So this is it, shad. H7666, shad. All right. It says it's a masculine noun. Now, if this has to do, if this is a breast dealing with a woman, why would it be a masculine noun? A noun is a person, place, or a thing. What would be masculine about a woman's breast? See what I'm saying? Now, let's look at the root word of the etymology. It says probably from shawad, which we're going to go into this word later. H7736. In its original sense, contracted. What does shawad mean? And I'm going to pronounce it the way we say it. All right. They say shud, we say shawad. All right. So shawad, it means to ruin, destroy, spoil, devastate. Now, what the fuck, if this is the root word, this is a primitive root, meaning it's from the beginning of this line of words. Now, if this is the primitive root or the beginning of this word, and words came after it, maybe to better describe it or to describe an offshoot of it, what the hell does ruin, destroy, spoil, or devastate have to do with a breast? Okay? It also says to be strong, to be powerful, hence to act violent, to lay waste. Now, what the hell does this breast, bosom, female breast have to do with with destruction or death, or to be violent, to be strong? And why would it be a masculine noun? Obviously, this right here is a mistranslation, or it's they had an error in how they was reading the way of spelling this word, shad. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So he's not going to tell you all of this shit. He just wants you niggas to believe that the black woman is God, and we're going to prove that the black woman is God according to the Bible, and everything he said was false and incorrect. And I think he knew that shit. But he just wanted to prove a point of trying to make the black woman God in the Bible, which that shit don't mix. So let's keep going. Let's go back and listen to his shit. I just wanted to bring that out.
The word breast is inside the word God. It's not, I'm not stretching or reaching. Why? Because you get something in your breast milk that only your mother can give you. Right. So when we start confiding in our Creator.
So if he's talking about the colostrum in the milk, which it fortifies your immune system. It does good things for you. It builds you up. Why the fuck would that be associated with destruction? That's the total opposite. You wouldn't have a word, shawad, and then later on the Hebrews come up with another word from shawad, which means destruction, and say shad means breast. And the thing that it is the colostrum, which fortifies. That makes no sense. It's not logical. So this man, he's just trying to put something in to try to lead our people astray. And it's all for these black women, because they want to get the black woman in there. And the black woman going to get them money, and they're going to fuck them and suck them. And then they're going to, they might bring some dudes in and then bring the money. This is the same. They do the same shit at the club. We're going to let the black woman in. We're going to let the women in for free. The niggas going to follow. And we're going to get our money. That's how they thinking. But you're not finna force fit this shit into our scriptures and try to say that our God is a woman. We finna break this shit totally down, man. Let's keep going.
The great mother. The queen of heaven. She can only give her children something that no one else can give her. I'm going to convert y'all niggas in here. All who was left that didn't attest to the black woman being God, you're going to be converted today. And you're going to have questions for them and ask them, why didn't they teach you about the Queen of Heaven? Why didn't they teach you about Asherah? Why did you steal Eve's legacy as Hawa and misrepresent her when we know it's Sumeria? She's Ninhawa. Why did you tell me that the rib came out of man when we see in Sumer the same geographical location you said your story comes from, but people existed before you there? giving food to the people. That wouldn't make Red Cross religious incentives accurate. If you're feeding the black community, keep feeding them. I support you on that. But it don't make your doctrine right. You're not going to get sympathy from me trying to oppress our women. Let's go to the next one. Look weak. We're going to go to Psalms chapter 131, verse 2. And it reveals God as a mother. It says, this is God talking now, but I have calmed and quieted my soul like a weaned child with his mother. My soul is like the weaned child that is with me. Again, with the breastfeeding talk, God.
Now, the funny thing is that he claims to be so smart. And he doesn't, but what he act like he don't understand that he heard the word like and as. When you have the word like and as, it means that he's comparing himself to. You might say, man, I got to piss like a racehorse. It don't mean that you're a racehorse. It just means that you have to pick, you're comparing the urgency of you having to urinate to a racehorse. Or maybe the frequency of the urination. Alright? Now he's going to play on that these next couple minutes. We're going to go through it.
We'll go to another verse. Isaiah 42:14. God is a woman in labor. Why is a male God talking like he's in labor? Wow. God, for a long time I have held my peace. I have kept myself still and restrained myself. Now I will cry out like a woman in labor. I will gasp in pain.
I will cry out as a woman in labor. I will cry out as a woman in labor. When you have like and as, that's comparative. It's like he's expressing to you how he feels. He's not saying that I'm a woman in labor. He's saying I'm as a woman in labor. So you can't use those things to say that God is a woman. If he's saying he's as a woman in labor.
We're going to go to another verse. Isaiah 66:13. God as a comforting mother. It says, and this is God talking, as a mother comforts her child, comforts her child.
They go to word as. See, we keep seeing as, like. It's comparative. It's the Most High expressing himself in a way that you can understand. If a dude say, man, I'm hot as a iron. It don't mean that he an iron. He's just saying he's letting you know that he's as hot as something. Keep going.
So I will comfort you. You shall be comforted in Jerusalem. We're going to go to Isaiah 49:15. God compared to a nursing mother. Now God compares himself as a nursing mother. Mind you, the word for God is breast. El Shaddai. Compared to a nursing mother. God, can a woman forget her nursing child? This is what God's saying in terms of her children. Can a woman forget her nursing child or show no compassion for the child of her womb? Even these may forget, yet I will not forget you.
He said, even these will forget, but I will not forget you. Meaning, a woman might forget, but he's not going to forget us. It's not saying that he's a woman. He's using comparative talk. Everybody uses comparative talk. You can't say because somebody's using comparative talk that they're actually saying what, like, if I'm using comparative talk and I'm saying that, you know, man, I'm hotter than a bitch, man. That don't mean that I'm saying that I'm a bitch. But that's the logic that he's coming from. But you got to ask yourself, these people just eating this shit up. Woo, yeah. Woo, black woman is God. Woo. Without even thinking, there's words in there like that. There's the words like and as in there, which is comparative and being comparative and descriptive, man. He's comparing himself to something. Now, how can you use this to say as proof that the Most High is a woman. So this dude, he really, you know, this dude ain't as smart as he think he is. But that's what happens when you're prideful. You're so proud, he can't even see that shit, man. I don't know if he do. He probably do. Probably just fucking lying to these people. He's a showman. Okay, let's keep going.
Is God a transvestite? Oh, we call a spade, and God is a black woman.
God is a black woman because he's comparing himself to a black woman. He's saying, I am as, I am like, I am as. Like I said, if I say, I gotta piss as or like a racehorse. Or if I say I will speak as a ass, or you know, ass is a donkey, which is like supposed to be a dumbass animal. So if I say I will speak as an ass, you're not gonna say, well, this dude just called himself a donkey. Is this dude a donkey, or do we call a spade a spade? No. No. He's using comparative speech to explain to you his position. Okay, let's keep going.
Might be white woman, but they're because they're more closer to white people than Africans. Go to the next one. This shit is crazy. Wow. You should have got GMS in here.
See? You ain't want GMS in there, man. Cause we eating your ass up now. Polite. You ain't nothing but a white man's encyclopedia, man. We eating your ass up now. You ain't want us in there because we would have tore that shit down. We would have came in and tore all that shit down, man. You ain't want us in there, man. You went up to the elders and you ain't hardly say shit. You ain't had shit to say. Because you ain't want to deal with us, man. You can't deal with us, man, because we got the spirit of YAHAWASHI, which is not a woman. Y'all niggas ain't got no spirit, man. Y'all niggas ain't got nothing behind y'all but the so-called white man and his doctrine and his philosophies. This nigga, you can't even understand English. You can't even understand like and as. You take that shit as literally he's saying that he is a woman. So you ain't want nothing with no GMS, man. I don't even know why you calling us up there.
That is messed up. Just press it for me. Just press it. Just keep pressing. I'll tell you when to stop. Everybody said the Lord did that. Yeah, I was coming down on it too hard. Sorry, Lord. Keep going. Yeah, let's recap on all of this that we saw. God is good until God is a woman. That's how these people are, you know. Keep going. We just recapping. That's what we're doing. We got time. This light work. Keep going. Well, you did your research, right? Hope you're going to rebut these claims. Keep going. This is the point in the lecture where I'm so good at what I do, I just start just going in. I prove my point. Let's just put one of those images back up on there. And let's think about the black woman for a second. Did you know? How many of you are women in here that have had a child that coincidentally, when your breast is ready for your child to suckle, and it starts leaking, for whatever reason, the child seems to be waking up at the same time? Raise your hand if you know this is true. Do you know there's an electrical impulse that comes from your nipple and shoots straight to the child and wakes them up? Black woman is God. Let's look at the colostrum fluid. The first 3 months. The first 3 months of breastfeeding, there's a yellow liquidy fluid that's in there that enhances the child's immunity, enhances the child's IQ, enhances the child's social abilities. So if you teach about Jesus, the question we gotta ask is, was Jesus breastfed? One of my books. Did Mary go and get Similac?
Alright, so that's basically it, man. Alright. So we about to go and tear all this shit down. Alright, so Polite says that the black woman is God, which y'all niggas still ain't tell me what God was. Just because a woman can make, you know, it's an electrical impulse, as you say, for the baby, you know, for the woman to, for the baby to wake up when her nipples start leaking. That don't make her God. Okay? And that don't make her the God of the Bible. It just make her to have it's that she has an electrical impulse. That's special. That's nice. But that don't make her God. Alright, the word God, we're gonna get into all this, but the word God is from the Hebrew word Allah. The word Allah, we're gonna get into it. The word Allah means power or judge. The black woman is not a judge, and she's not a power. Okay? That's what that word means. Alright? So you gonna have to prove to me, when you say the black woman is God, how the fuck is she really God? Because she's not a judge. And you ain't finna prove that in the Bible either. Okay? That she's a judge or a power or an authority over men. Alright, so let's get this right. Alright? Polite said the word Shadya. He didn't, if you notice, he didn't even break down the word Allah. They didn't just call the Most High Shadya. They called him Allah Shadya or El Shaddai. Allah Shadya. It goes together. Okay? He just broke down the word Shadya. Shad meaning the teeth. He said da or dad was the a knob or a nipple, which is totally false. Dad is a tent door, the opening to a tent. We're going to prove all of that. Yah, he said, was a hand. He said all this represented breastfeeding. So Shadya meant breastfeeding because he looked up the one word. He looked up one word, which was shad. And he said that meant that shad meant breast, which I showed you that shit probably is a mistranslation in the reading or the pronunciation of the word. It probably don't even go back to that, as we looked up the root word and it had nothing to do with a breast. And real quick, the word breast, we go into Hebrew, the word for breast is yanak. Okay? H3243. Yanak. Now, when you look at these letters, when we go to the pictorial, this right here is Yad, as he say, or Yah, which is an arm. This right here is Na, which is a seed. Now, what does a seed represent? A seed represents a baby. So, as you can see, when you look at the pictorial, it'll tell you what it is. That's how you know what he's talking about is not real. Talking about Shadya is dealing with breastfeeding. It's not. This is the actual word for breastfeeding. And it has a hand and a seed, or a hand and a baby. And the next one is a son. Quiet represents the sun. If I'm not mistaken, out of this, you know, when you go into the research and go into this book. Okay, so you tell right there that that's not, Shadya doesn't mean breast. It has nothing to do with woman. Alright? So that's what Polite said. Allah Shadya, or Shadya means woman, means that God is a woman. Alright, so let's go to Genesis chapter. Well, matter of fact, I don't even want to use that. Let me go down some. Where is it at? We're going to read right here. Exodus 6:3. And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me open it up. Exodus 6:3. Okay, we're going to start here. And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty. Now, when you look behind this word God Almighty, it's the word, the name God Almighty. It's the word Allah, or as he said, El. And we say Shadya. But the fake Jews and all them pronounce it El Shaddai. Alright? We say Allah Shadya. All right, so that's what the ancient people was calling them, Allah Shadya. All right, it says, but by my name, Yahawah, was I not known to them. It wasn't a popular name. So let's go look at this word Allah Shadya. Let's look at the word Allah first, or El, as they say. Now this word El is H410, El or Allah. It means God, God-like, one mighty, mighty one, mighty thing in nature, strength, and power. All right, let's look at it on the concordance. El. Okay, see it all there. God, God-like, one mighty one. Mighty men, men of rank, mighty heroes. Angels. Why is it angels? Why is it saying angels? Because the angels are lesser judges. Okay, God. Well, that goes into some other things. Mighty thing in nature, and it represents. Now, the reason they had this at the bottom, it represents strength and power, and we'll go into that. We're gonna go into that when we go into the pictorial language. All right. So Allah means strong one. All right. We said it means judge. All right. So where is this word from? It's from the root word, as they say, a yield, but we say ayal, which means ram, strong man, leader, chief, or authority. Just so you know we ain't lying. Root word etymology, shortened form, ayala, ayil. Ayil, masculine noun pertaining to a man. It says a ram, ram food, ram is sacrifice, ram, pillar, doorpost, jabs, jams, plasters, strong man, leader, chief, mighty thing. Okay, now why would it say pillar? Pillar is to support something that's strong, to support something. Why would it say ram? A ram is strong, it represents strength. All right, so let's go down. All right. So it said a yield meant ram or strong man. A leader, a chief, will say authority. Okay? That's the root word. That's where this word Allah came from. They seen the ram, and they liken the ram to a strong man. What you see when you see ram? What you see them doing? You see them fighting each other. They be clacking them heads together, and that shit is powerful. If you look at them, the shit is powerful, man. You'll wonder how they don't die from that shit. So when the Hebrews seen that, they likened that to a mighty man or a strong man, and then a strong man represented a leader or a chief. You have strong men to be your leaders or your chiefs or your authorities, man. Because in those days, people took things by force. Or if you were always in fear of war, you had to go to war, so you would need strong people. All right, so the ram represented strength to the ancient Hebrews. All right, just to read this, say it was used in reference to mighty men 4 times in Exodus 15 and 5. It was used in 2 Kings 24 and 15, Job 41 and 25, Ezekiel 17 and 13, Ezekiel 39 and 18. And it's used in Exodus 22 and 28 to mean judges and authorities. All right, so we see the word Allah means judge / authority, and in its basic form, it represents mighty or might and power or to be godlike. Now let me look up this scripture because I want to bring this out. Exodus 22 and 28. A lot of people don't know about this scripture. Exodus 22 and 28. Exodus 22 and 28. Now this is Moses giving the people the certain laws and things like that. All right, let me see. See the first one. If a man steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. Now listen, these are laws that Moses is telling the people. So was it 28? So verse 28. Now we know in the ancient days we were not to worship false gods. We were to worship one God, which is Yahawah, our God. So it says, thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people. Now why would it say thou shalt not revile the gods? If we are a people and our God said that we are not to worship other gods. All right, he said, put no God before me. Why would he say not to revile the gods? Now, when you go into the word gods in the Hebrew for H430, there you see the word El. They say Elohim. When you add the YM at the end, it makes it plural, meaning more than one. So it's really Allah, and then they added Allahayim. All right, Yum makes it plural. So what is this gods? It's judges. It's the judges that Moses set up. And right here, Allahayim. It says rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods. So there we go. Allah means a judge in the singular form. Allahayim means judges. So there we go to prove to you that word Allah means a judge or an authority. So we proved that. We went to that point. Now, like I said, the black woman or any woman, no woman is a judge, an authority. Actually, in the Hebrew culture, a woman was never to have rulership. She was never to usurp authority over a man. Never. Okay, so you tell me, you cannot prove to me that the woman, that the black woman is the God of the Bible. That's bullshit. Maybe they gods in Hebrew, not Hebrew. Maybe they gods in Egypt, because in Egypt, them Egyptians was a bunch of damn faggots, and they had to go and sign a contract that they woman was the head over them, and they had to do whatever their woman said. All right, which, that's a whole nother, I'll do a podcast on that or some shit. So now we're moving on to the word Shaddai, as he said, or Shadya, which he said meant breastfeeding. All right? So Shaddai, or Shadya, 87760. Let me pull that up. It says, Shaddai. Shaddai or Shadya means the most powerful, or terrible, or even demon-like. I'll explain the demon-like in a second. When we look at the etymology or root word of Shaddai, or Shadya as we say, we see that it's from H7760, Shaddad. All right, this is the root word of it, not Shad. All right, as he was saying of breast, but Shaddad. All right, so here it is on the concordance, so you know we're not lying. 8776 Shaddai. All right, a masculine noun with reference to a deity. Okay, this is masculine. It's not feminine. Don't deal with no woman. All right, and if it was feminine, you would add an H on the end. It would be Shaddai, not Shaddai. It would be Shaddai with an H on the end. All right, that's one of the rules of Hebrew. All right, so it says Almighty, most powerful, Shaddai, the Almighty. All right, go down here. It says most powerful, Almighty. You know, the name of Yahawah. All this stuff like that. What's the root word? It's from the word H7706, Shaddad. Let's go to that word. What does this word Shaddad means? 87730. It's a verb. Meaning it's a description word. It would make sense that Shaddai, which is a noun, would come from Shaddad, which is a describing word, a description of an action. Like if you have rob, you would have to name a person that commits that act. So you would have to call them robbers. All right. So Shaddai. All right. Matter of fact, when you go back to what he was saying, that word shad, which he was saying shad meant breast, that was a noun. You're not gonna digress from a noun. Start with a noun and then digress to a noun as an action. And it makes sense. So this makes sense. So what does this word Shaddai means? Which Shaddai comes from? The root word of Shaddai is Shaddad. What does it mean? It means to deal violently with, to despoil, to devastate, ruin, destroy, or spoil. To violently destroy, to devastate, to despoil, to devastator, spoiler. Okay? All right? To violently destroy. Okay? Now let's look at this down here, just in this lexicon. Shaddad. To be strong, powerful. Go back. Let's go back. Let's go back to Shaddai, which Shaddai comes from Shaddad. What does it mean? The most powerful. What also does it mean? So that's what that is. So let's keep going. All right, where was I? So we see that Shaddai or Shadya is from Shaddad. Okay, pronounced Shaddad. It's a primitive root, meaning the beginning root, meaning the starting of this word, this family of words. Shaddad is also a verb or word describing action. It means to deal violently with, despoil, devastate, ruin, destroy, spoil. In the scriptures, this word Shaddad is used to deal with anything violent in action, such as a violent fall, Judges 5:27, or violent robbers, as in Job 12:6. Being that Shaddad is a verb, it makes sense, which verb means an action word. Being that Shaddad is a verb, it makes sense that Shaddai or Shadya would come from it, since it's a noun describing a person who is coming, who is committing the verb or action of Shaddad. All right. Now remember that word shad, what I told you was probably a mistranslation, or they probably mixed up the letters or some shit like that. So let's look at this. Let's look at another word. 8700 shad. Okay. They pronounce it shed. It says it means demon. Let's look that up. Let's see what they had to say about this word. All right, so shad, or as they pronounce it, shed. It says demon. All right, because Ahla Shadya can mean demon-like power. All right, which will explain demon. Like, people hear demon, they don't understand what it means. They just say demon and they think of some fucking monster or some shit. All right, so when you look down here, the Genesis Hebrew Chaldean lexicon. All right, it says shad only in plural. It says shad yum. When you add y and the m to the end, yum to the end, it means idols. All right, it's from the root shawad. Now, if you remember that earlier, when I told you about that word for breast, shad, and I looked up the root word, it went right back to this, shawad. It means to rule. Okay? Lord or master or demon. It says, since the Jews rightly regarded idols to be demons who allowed themselves to be worshipped by men. So that's why, when you use this word in a plural form, demons really means to rule. All right. So we look at 877 shad. It means demon, but what does it really mean in the Hebrew culture? When we look at the Gesenius lexicon, shad only means idols when plural, more than one, or in the form of shad yum. When it's Shadyam, then it means demons. It says in the singular sense, it would have to deal with power, might, and or rulership. 87700 Shad comes from the root word shawad, which is where we said that word breast come from. Okay? That mistranslation. Shawad, shud or shawad, meaning to rule, to be powerful, from the Gesenius lexicon, end or destroy. Why would demon mean rule? The Gesenius lexicon says the Hebrews regarded idols to be demons that allowed themselves to be worshipped. Now, that makes sense, because when you read the scriptures, you start to understand that the demons that it speak about and that the devil that it speak about are angels up in the heavens that allow men to worship them. That these men, when they worshiping these demons and these statues and shit, that they're actually worshiping the angel. Alright, which is a judge. A judge under the Most High God. Okay, all the angels and demons, they have to answer to the Most High. You have to get that out there. Alright, so now we understand that this word Shadya, we can translate it to demon-like power, demon-like authority, demon-like God. Okay, or we can even go deeper and say that this word Shad means ruler, which is why you would have Shadya meaning all-powerful or almighty, because he's the ruler. Okay, let's keep going. I just had a picture just to prove it. Okay, it says demon, and then you look right here. It says from the root, shawad, to rule. See that? Since the Jews rightly regarded angels to be demons who allowed themselves to be worshipped by men. And when you go to Genesis chapter 1, and you see God, behind the word God is Allahayim, which is judges, which is talking about the angels. Okay, and demons are angels too. All right. So now we can understand that the word Allah, Shadya, or El Shaddai means one who rules. Who rules, is powerful, one who destroys, and is capable of destroying or dealing violently. When you look into them words. All right, you might ask yourself, why would one associate rulership with violence and destroying? Because in those days, rulership was taken by force or destruction, which is death, which constitute power in the minds of the ancients, like the phrase Nimrod, the mighty hunter. Nimrod wasn't a hunter, man. He went out and hunted animals. They called him a hunter because he made prey of kingdoms and peoples. Alright, it says, which glorified Nimrod for being a mighty warrior who took over kingdoms by force of destroying and or killing, and set up his kingdom of Babylon, which he ruled by force. So now let's look at the rulership. Let's look at the relationship between this God and the people of ancient time to see why he was called Allah Shadya or El Shaddai, or the one who rules, is all-powerful, who destroys and deals violently. That's what all the words we looked up mean. We sum it together. In Exodus, we see he is telling Moses that he was known by Allah Shadya, but his proper name is YAHAWAH, which was not popular among the ancients. Exodus 6:3. And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty, Allah Shadya. Okay? But by my name, they say Jehovah, which is Yahawah, was I not known to them. As we go on, we can now back up the claim Allah Shadya or El Shaddai, meaning the one who rules, is all-powerful, who destroys and deals violently. We can back that up with the scriptures. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 17. It says, for the Lord your God is God of gods. Okay? Well, if you're a God of God, what are you? You're a ruler. He's a ruler over the angels, which the angels are lesser gods or judges. Meaning he's a judge of judges. He's the Lord of lords, a great God, a great judge, because the word God means judge or authority or power. A mighty and terrible, it says terrible, which regarded not persons nor take a reward. It says, come and see the works, Psalm 66:5. Come and see the works of God, or the judge, Allah. Okay, that's what that word is, Allah. Power, judge. It says he is terrible in his dealing towards the children of men. See, he's terrible to men in his dealing, in his doing towards them. This word terrible doesn't mean it doesn't just mean bad. It also means awesome. He does awesome things, like things that's worthy of awe. Nehemiah 9:32. Our God, the great, the mighty, and the terrible God. Now this is what they're calling this God. Now how could this ever be associated with breastfeeding? It's not. Obviously it's associated with one who is, let's go back to that, what it meant. Obviously it's dealing with one who rules, is all powerful, who destroys and deals violently. Okay? That's the only one you would call a great, a mighty, and terrible God. All right, let's Deuteronomy 7:21. Thou shalt not be affrighted at them, for the Lord thy God is among you, a mighty and terrible God. Malachi 1:14. This shows you why the heathens called him Ahla Shadya, or El Shaddai, as they pronounce it. It says, for I am a great king. They go to that thing of ruler. See, all this is encompassing what we just broke down about Ahla Shadya or El Shaddai. Reading it again. It said, I am a great king, said the Lord of hosts. My name is dreadful among the heathen. Now, everything we just read, we read about him being dreadful, about him being a ruler, about him being terrible. That all encompasses Shaddai, Ahla Shadya, when you look at the meaning of the word, going into the root words. All right, it all is one that rules. He said he was a king. One that is powerful, who destroys and deals violently. He said, they said, and he said that he was terrible. That this God is terrible and mighty. All right, read Malachi 1:14 again. For I am a great king, said the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. So why would his name be dreadful among the heathen? Because this is the God, okay, that sent out prophets like we doing today in America, and that proclaimed his name like we doing today in America. We saying Yahawah going to destroy America. They did the same thing in the ancient days. And you had things like the great flood of Noah. Noah was out there prophesying over 100 years, saying that Yahawah was going to make it rain. Or maybe he might have been using the name Ahla Shadya. I don't know. All right? Saying that this God was going to make it rain and that everybody was going to die. And then what happened? Everybody died. Killed almost all the men. All right? This is the same God that came and destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm pretty sure it probably was prophets out there. Sodom and Gomorrah was 5 cities. Destroyed its inhabitants and reduced it to ashes in an instant. Today we would call it nuclear fission or like an atomic bomb. The splitting of an atom. Straight destroyed it. And I'm going to tell you something else. And it was a UFO or a chariot that did it. And them people seeing them chariots out there. All right. And also you had the confusion of tongues or languages at the Tower of Babel when the people thought they was going to make themselves a name among God. All right, not to mention that they knew that this God rode in the skies and some shit that they didn't understand. He flew like an eagle, man. And some mechanical devices. They called it chariot because that was the only way that they could describe it. a vehicle of transportation that rode on the sky that was like fire. They didn't understand lights because they didn't have lights and electricity. All they had to represent that light in the sky was a fire. So that's how they described it. So this is the God that they were seeing in the sky destroying shit, like destroying all that brought forth the floods. They were seeing these chariots that brought forth the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah in an instant. They were seeing these chariots, and they were seeing these chariots and things like that, and these prophets was talking about them. What do you think they would call him? He was bringing destruction and dealing violently with them, man. And he was a ruler. They couldn't do nothing to him. So they call him Ahla Shadya. The one who rules and deals terribly and violently and destroys. Alright? So these people, so these people saw that this God was that these Hebrews was teaching about was out there saying was going to do that, and this God was doing this stuff. They were saying that this God was a terrible, dreadful, powerful, destroying, demon-like God. This is why they called his name Ahla Shadya or El Shaddai, the one who rules, is all powerful, who destroys and deals violently. So now that leads us to the next part, the pictorial Hebrew. All right, because that dude went into that. Polite went into that. So we're gonna go into it too, but we're gonna break it down the right way. All right, the pictorial Hebrew. All right, the original pictorial script. I'm sorry, the original pictographic script of the ancient Hebrew alphabet consisted of 22 letters, each representing an object such as a hand, as in the far left. Okay. All right. This right here is a hand. Let's keep going. The word Allah, all right, power. I'm sorry, the word Allah, it means power, God, judge, authority. It consists of two pictorial letters, Ah and La. Ah is an ox. It's an ox head, meaning strength. Okay? This is where the language evolved from. The symbols of the language of Hebrew evolved from. This is how it was originally written in the beginning. Alright? This is how Adam probably wrote it like this. Okay? So the Ah in Allah. Ah is a picture of a head of an ox. The ox was the strength. I'm sorry, the ox was the strongest and most versatile animal among the Hebrews' livestock. Okay? The animal English name, it says all. The animal was all powerful. Alright? It says many, it means strong, because the great strength of the ox. So that Ah means strong. That's from the ancient language of the ancient language and alphabet by Jeff A. Bronner, and that's page 69. I'll put a picture of the book up in production. Moving on to the La and Allah. You have Ah and you have La. La. Okay? A shepherd's staff representing authority. The shepherd's staff was used to guard, protect, and discipline the sheep. Let's look what the book says. Here's the picture of the La in original form. It says the picture is a shepherd's staff. I'm going to just read the highlighted parts. It says the Hebrew shepherds always carried a staff that could be used as a weapon to protect the flock from predators as well as to discipline the sheep. Now, when the Most High was doing Sodom and Gomorrah and he destroyed the whole earth with water, all the men on the earth with water, that was the Most High disciplining. That's why he's called Allah as a title. That's not his name, it's just a title. Meaning he's a judge. That's why he's called Allah, judge, and then Shadya. Okay? Goes on and says, meaning, it means authority. The staff is seen as the authority and protection of the shepherd over his flock. the king's scepters come from this imagery. So that's why the king carried that little stick that they call a scepter that goes back to the shepherds. That represents his authority. That's from the same book on page 80. So when we look at this pictorial pictograph Hebrew, Ah and La from Allah, when you look at it, when you put the ox head and the shepherd's staff together, you get the meaning of power, strength, and one who has authority. Of others, thus the word Allah means God, judge, or an authority. Okay, moving on. The word Shadya, Shadya or Shaddai, as he said. We say Shadya. It says Shadya, as we came to the conclusion from the concordance. One word, one who rules is all powerful, one who destroys and is capable of destroying or dealing violently. It consists of 3 pictorial letters, Sha, Da, and Ya. Sha right here, Da right here, and Ya. Polite said that this was a nipple or a knob, which is incorrect. This is not a nipple or a knob. It's a tent door. It's the opening to the tent, and we'll read it in a second. Sha. Sha equals the first letter of Shadya. Sha. It's a tent representing. It's a teeth, and it represents sharp. Teeth are also destroyers / devour of flesh. So it can also mean destroy. So here you go right here. This is the teeth for Shah, and it says the picture is a teeth. The pictures of 2 front teeth. The sound is Shah. The meaning sharp. The front teeth are sharp for cutting meat, as the teeth are used to press down on food. This letter can also mean press, eat, or devour. That makes sense too. So the next word in Allah in Shadya is Da. The next letter. Da. It's a tent door. It's not a nipple. It's a tent door representing in and out, back and forth. In this case, this word, we can say that it represents constant, moving, or even living. It's not a nipple or a knob. See it right there? Da, or Dad, as he said it. It says a door. You don't see nipple or knob. It says door. A curtain suspended from a horizontal pole covering the entrance of the Hebrew's tent. This picture of this letter represents the door of the tent, not a knob or a nipple. It says this letter can also mean movement, as one moves in and out of the tent through the door. All right, and the last letter in Shadya is Ya. A hand representing strength. In this case, we can say it means destroying, because the hand carried the weapons of war and destruction or death that may. That's why we have words like firearms and phrases like arm yourself for battle. The arm or hand also represents the force of battle and destruction. Let's go and read some more. It says hand. You see it right there? That's Ya or Yad. It's a hand. The picture is a hand and an arm of a man. It says the hand is part of the body that does work. This letter can also mean throw or worship. Both is actions of the hand. So it represents actions of the hand. So as you can see, even when you go to the pictorial Hebrew, this has nothing to do with a woman or a breast, as Polite said, man. It's everything to do with destruction and a dreadful, powerful entity. When we put the meanings together of the teeth, the tent door, as they say, and the arm and the hand, we get one who is sharp and constantly destroying or devouring. This matches what we got from the Blue Letter Bible. All right, it matches. All right, as we said, Shadya, or as we said, Shadya, or as they said, El Shaddai, is one who rules, is all powerful, one who destroys, and is capable of destroying or dealing violently. So when you go through these things, it's easy to understand. It's not hard to understand. Allah means power or judge. Okay. Shaddai, Shadya means one. It means, well, as they translated, Almighty, which is correct. Going back to what we said it meant. Hold on. Going back to what we said it meant. One who rules, is all powerful, who destroys, and capable of dealing violently, or deals violently. And that's what this God was doing to these people in the ancient days. This God, Shadya. Alright, so, I mean, that's basically it, man. I don't know how much more plainer I can put it. Alright, this nigga Polite, he going off. And the Most High is going to destroy this nigga. Alright? He's just out there to make that money, man. You know, if you want the truth and you want to understand these mysteries, these things like this, you gotta go to GMS, man. You gotta come to Israel. You gotta come to Yasharallah, man. You're not finna get this from no Kemetic nigga, man. No nigga that's worshiping the sun. The sun is not an object to be worshipped, man. It's a tool. Just like man is a tool. You don't worship no fucking man. These niggas talking about they gods and shit like that. You ain't no damn God, man. You ain't no God over the Most High God. You ain't no man worthy to be worshipped. Alright, so with that, my name is CHAARAWTAZA. Alright, all praise YAHAWASHI, you know, for giving us this knowledge and understanding to be able to teach our people the truth. Alright, double honors to our elders. My elders are Great Millstone. Like that nigga said, he wanted Great Millstone in there. You ain't want Great Millstone in there, nigga. The little brothers, like us little brothers that eat your ass up, man. You ain't want no Great Millstone. I know you ain't want no elders of Great Millstone. We one of the only groups that really go in and really study this thing, man. We really eat, live, and shit this thing, man. We really research this thing, man. We go in. We ain't gonna come up there half-stepping, so you really ain't want no GMS. Well, you said you wanted them, but you got them now, man. Cause we on your ass, man. Alright, the Most High gonna reveal his truth. So with that I say, all praise YAHAWASHI. Double honors my oldest Great Millstone. Blessings to the brothers that go out there and teach in truth and sincerity, and the ones that believe. And if it's any sisters out there that believe, you know, Most High bless you too. Alright, and Yahweh Shai Barakatham. Shalom Akim.